All right, we're going to get started in just a couple seconds. But before we do, I want to take a moment to thank Latrice for being here with me today. I'm so excited to have you.
Thank you. I'm excited to be here and thank you for thanking me.
Yeah, this is actually Latrice and I's second webinar that we were on just today alone. If you guys didn't know, we were on Kangaroo Times webinar just a few hours ago, where we talked about our experiences as Black entrepreneurs in the early childhood industry and within the childcare business. So that was a really interesting conversation. If you Okay. If you did not get a chance to join in on that webinar, it is going to be, the replay is posted to Kangaroo Times YouTube channel, or it will be. I'm not sure what day they drop their replays on, but you can search Kangaroo Time in YouTube and you'll be able to access it later if you missed out. But thank you for being here. And I will go ahead and let you guys know a little bit about the childcare chick. Latrice Crawford is a she's a successful childcare center owner turned childcare consultant. She started her childcare center in 2007 with a vision of bringing importance to early childhood education. For the past 14 years, Latrice has owned and operated her center, grossing over 7 figures annually. And during the COVID-19 pandemic, Latrice has gained a wealth of knowledge that will help anyone wanting to open a childcare center or in need of help in their current center. She started the Childcare Chick because she wanted to help others wanting to get into childcare not make as many mistakes that she did and show them how to be successful, which I love. I also have that goal to help people not make those types of mistakes. So I connect with Latrice about that. And one thing that I love that Latrice does is she's great with marketing, social media marketing. I'm always laughing at her posts, and you know, all the you stay on top of the trends, Latrice. I can tell you that.
You have to, and that's one of the biggest things in marketing. You do have to kind of stay on top of the trends.
Yes, yes. Okay, so the floor is yours. Thank you for being here. I'm gonna go ahead and disappear and let you, go through your presentation. Anybody that is currently just joining in, please be sure to leave where you're watching from in the chat box. I'd love to know. And also for everybody, if you have questions throughout this presentation, please use the Q&A box. At the end, we'll give about 10 to 15 minutes for you guys to ask whatever questions you might have about this topic, about marketing in the childcare business, and Latrice will go through them at the end. Okay, so if you have questions, put them in there. And thank you so much for being here, Latrice. Go ahead whenever you're ready.
Okay, I'm going to share my screen. Hello, everyone. As Dani said, my name is Latrice. I am the Childcare Chick on Instagram. I reside in Rosenberg, Texas, which is where my center is located. We are right outside of Houston, Texas. I own Kidsville Learning Academy, and I've been the owner and operator for 14 years. The last 4 years, I have stepped back as the role of the director, and I do have a director. So now I'm call myself the executive director. So now I kind of oversee the business for the last 4 years, and I'm not in the day-to-day operations anymore. But over the years, I have learned so much about this industry, how to grow in this industry, and how to be successful. And one of my favorite pieces to that is marketing. I absolutely love marketing. It's a chance to be very creative, to capture your audience and your target customer. So I absolutely love marketing. And I have a few other businesses, and one is an online business. So that really makes me get creative with my marketing. So today, we only have about 45 minutes or so. So I decided to pick, I can go on marketing all day, but I decided to pick 3 of what I think is really important right now with marketing, which we're going to talk about community events and marketing. We're going to talk about email marketing, and we're going to also talk about social media marketing, which I think are 3 very important topics. So let's just dive right into this marketing. And I just, like really cute names. So I thought we would call it childcare marketing like a boss, so we can boss up our childcare centers. So let's get started. So people always say, well, what is marketing? And so I like to start off with the definition of marketing. Marketing is the process of getting potential customers interested in your products and services. I always put it like, if you're not marketing your center, how do I know you even exist? If you have no web presence, you don't have any signs, I haven't seen a flyer, I don't know what your logo, I don't know anything about you, how is that potential parent going to find you? No longer are the days when parents are just driving up and down the street looking for childcare centers. That's just not how it works anymore. Maybe back in the day, but not anymore. So you have to find ways of getting your services in front of potential customers. And that is what marketing is. A lot of times in childcare, marketing gets put to the side because most people, one, I know what it is to run, own, operate a childcare center. You say you don't have time, and sometimes we don't, or we don't have the budget for marketing. But I'm here to show you today a few ways that you can market that won't take a whole bunch of time, and then you can maybe delegate someone else to do it, and ways that you can market that won't hurt your pockets, especially during this time when we're all trying to save. You still have to market, but I'm going to give you some ways where it won't hurt your pocket. Sorry. So when marketing, the first thing I like to tell people to do when you start marketing is you need to conduct an analysis of your market area and your competition. And some people will tell me, well, why do I care what my competition is doing? Oh, you should care what your competition is doing to make sure that you're compatible or even better than your competition or doing different things than your competition. So you need to conduct an analysis. What is the growth like in the community? How many children are coming up in the community, parents, households, jobs, subdivisions, new elementary schools coming up in your subdivision. These are things you need to, in your neighborhood, these are things that you need to know. This is very important to the success of your business. And then you also need to know, again, what your competition is doing. What time do they open? For me, when I first started my center, how I grew so quick is because no one in my area opened before 6:30. And I had so many parents that worked at this employer out here that the shift started at 6. So parents could not drop their kids off till 6:30, but their shift was 6 to 3. So when I opened at 5:30. That drew so many parents to my center because now I was offering something different from anyone else in my area. I opened at 5:30. So you have to know, and I knew that because why? I did an analysis of my competition. I knew what time they open. I knew what time they close. Did they offer any programs? Did they have curriculum? Did they have technology? Were they using a parent app? Do they have transportation? Do they serve meals? These are all questions that you should be finding out from your potential competitors. Okay, so that's going to help you stand out. So conduct your analysis when you get ready to market so you can know how to proceed. Sorry, I don't know why my PowerPoint is moving. So, okay. So once you've conducted your analysis, you're ready to start marketing. I'm just going to backtrack for one thing and let you know, and I see I had a typo, so I'm sorry. I want to tell you, when you first start your business, one of the things that I'm not going to touch on a lot, though, is branding. You need to think about logo, color schemes. That is very important. How do you want your customer to feel when they look at your logo or your brand? And so I just posted my logo up here. When customers look at my logo, when I thought about it, I wanted them to, one, know we are early childhood education facility and that we have a curriculum and we teach. We do not babysit. Hence there's the graduation cap, because we do teach. The next thing I wanted them to know was that we're fun. I thought the little fun, bright, colorful buildings brought to let them know we're fun. And also my name is Kidsville, so like a little village. So that's where the houses come in at. So what I do is I use this logo on everything. I want that logo embedded in everybody's name in everybody's head in Rosenberg, Texas, that has a child, potentially has a child, has a neighbor, everybody. I want them to see that logo and go, oh, I know that's Kidsville. When they see my van ride down the street, this logo is huge on it, because I want them to remember that. So that way, when they're looking for childcare, my logo is something that you really can't forget, because it's colorful, it's bright, it's a little different, it's unique. They're going to remember that. So just to backtrack about marketing, branding is very important too. And I won't spend a lot of time on branding, but I did feel like it needed to be brought up about branding. So just real quick, your branding is very important when marketing, because like I said, what does your brand say about your childcare center? What do you want people to think when they see your name and logo? How do you want them to feel? So think about that as you look at your logo and your branding. And one thing I want to hit on, it's okay to rebrand. That was not my first logo nor my second logo. That's my third logo in 14 years. About 5 years ago, maybe 4 years ago, I did a whole rebranding. I changed my logo, my colors. I had to switch everything on my vans. I had to switch my whole logo, but it was time, because from that last logo, and I should have put it on here, I had grew and it no longer represented where I was going in my business. So it's always okay to rebrand when you need to. I'm not saying every other week, because you want people to get used to your branding, but after a couple of years, your business has grown. It no longer represents who you are. It's okay to rebrand your business. Actually, it's a good thing to rebrand your business after so long. Even many of the major companies, if you go back and look at their old logos versus their logos now, they have changed because you evolve over time. So just remember that when branding. So now let's jump right into marketing. Well, and I just put a little pictures here for you to see that my logo is on everything. Like I said, I want everybody to remember that logo. So when they come take a tour at my center, you're going to get a whole bag of goodies with my logo. You're going to get your packet with my logo on the folder, my logo on my vans at the top. I'm not sure why that picture turned sideways, but that's the vans with the logo on the side and the back. I use my branding colors inside of my building. I'm known too for the black and white stripes. They're all over my building. That's just something that is in my branding. So just remember, branding is important. When I'm at the store, I may have on my Kidsville shirt, my Kidsville hat. I'm marketing on the go all the time. So again, 3 types of marketing I want to talk about today. There are several, but I just want to talk about 3 because we're short on time. And I have a whole marketing class if you want to join at another time. But today we're going to talk about community marketing and events, social media marketing, and email marketing. 3 of my favorites. So community marketing, let's see. Community marketing, I like to always say traditional events have gone out the window. It's no longer that you can just do a little Christmas party in your classroom and things like that. You really have to get creative with your events if you want to attract attention from new customers and people in your community. You have to stand out. And I'm really big on thinking outside the box with my community events. Some cost more than others, but that's just where you put it in your budget. So again, traditional events have gone out the window. You have to get creative. Events, the reason I like events, it gives you the opportunity to get creative and to meet new people in your community. It puts the spotlight on you and you get to have fun with your customers. A lot of times they get to put a face with a name. People may know my business, but when they come to my events, they know my face. Now they're like, oh, okay, I get to meet, I get to mingle, I get to give them a sense of who I am, what I stand for, what my center stands for. And that is a little more personable. So when they start looking for childcare, they can remember the conversations we had or remember coming to my center for my Halloween event or my Christmas event and things like that. I like to also give back to my community. Most of these events are free. I like to invest in my community because my community takes care of me. The people that pay tuition are the people in my community. So I like to give back to them at least a few times a year with having events for the children and the people in my community. And again, it also lets me get a chance to get to know them and they get to know me. Again, some events do not have to cost a lot at all. Some events you can make it grand, put some marketing behind it, call the media, make it big on social media. And some events can be very small. And I just put one little picture here of our Christmas event this year. Again, you can see Santa has on a mask, so that tells you it was COVID. We normally do two big events. One is an event for just our families because we like to make them feel special, and we do usually do a breakfast with Santa, and then we normally do a Christmas event for anyone in the community. But this year, because of COVID, we were going to do a drive-by Santa for our family. So we had it all set up, everything together, and it rained the day of the event. It was outside, drive up. It was amazing. We had it all planned out. It rained, but I mean, if you're in childcare, we have learned that sometimes we got to have plan A, B, C, D. So what we did was we emptied one of the classrooms that was right in front of the building, one of the ones that's closer to the building, and we took pretty much whatever we can fit that was going to go outside, and we transformed this room into Santaville because my center's name is Kidsville, so it was welcome to Santaville. And we still went. Now, we did not let outsiders in. We did not let parents in because by now our event was Saturday, but this is a Monday. So we just allowed the kids to come in, get their pictures with Santa. We still had hot cocoa. We still did music. Then we made it a big deal on social media. We streamed it for our parents. So you just have to find ways to get them involved and get really creative. Parents really, really loved it. Again, paying for Santa and the chair was probably the highest of the event. I have really creative teachers, and I have a really creative parent. Well, she's an ex-parent now because her kids are older, but she always decorates for me just for a donation because she just loves me from raising her kids. And so you can use your resources too with these events. So then next, I just gave you a list of event ideas that you can do. And again, events are going to bring you potential clients. I do not care what you think, they're going to come. If it's free, it's for your community. Even if their children does not go to your center, they're going to bring them because they want to have fun. That's going to be your opportunity to pass them a flyer. That's going to be for your opportunity to make that connection, speak with them. And when they're ready to put their child in childcare, they're going to come. If they don't like the child care center that their child goes to, they're going to remember the experience they had at your event. Keep that in mind. So some events that I like to do is we do Parents Night Out. We do a huge community Halloween event every single year. It has been the hugest event I've ever did for 5 years, where I turned my whole center into this big like Halloween Fright Fest type of thing. And we have a haunted house. We turn one of the classrooms to a haunted house. We have face paint. We have free food. All the teachers decorate their classrooms, and they stand at the door and they trick or treat, and they put games in their room. It is amazing. I mean, we have 300 to 500 people come through the school in 2 hours. But this year, because of COVID, we had to switch it up. Now, again, parents are so used to this event. I didn't want to disappoint them. I still wanted to have my event. So we turned it into a trunk or treat, which still had hundreds of people, but it was safer. It was in the parking lot. Everyone wore masks. You know, we staggered them where they didn't all come to the park through the parking lot at one time. But guess what else we did? We passed out little treat bags at the door. And guess what was in those treat bags? A Kidsville flyer, a Kidsville bracelet, a Kidsville pin, and one piece of candy. So they took that bag and walked all the way around the parking lot and trick or treat. But when they got home and emptied that bag, you better believe they had several items with our number, contact information, logo, a little bit about our program, a coupon to enroll your child with $25 off the registration fee. Because again, I want them to have fun, but I want them to remember me. And their entry, it was free, but in order to get in, you had to leave me your email address. We'll talk about that on email marketing. You can do a Christmas market. You have parents or people in the community that, everybody crafts and have little things they can sell. You can sell a table or rent a table, $10 a table, let them set up inside or outside your facility, and you make a big deal out of it. You market it, and then people come out and shop at your facility with these vendors. But again, you're making connections, you're capturing email addresses, and they're remembering you and your center. People do fall festivals. We do a pumpkin patch. We have movie night. We do a bike-a-thon at our school where the kids get to bring their bike one day. We rope off the parking lot and we make it a big deal. And then we get to ride our bikes through the parking lot. We do a breast cancer walk. That is a great event we have where we raise money to an organization that gives it to breast cancer survivors. But it's an amazing event. That's one of the events that we call the media on, but because they will come out and highlight us for that event. But the kids pink out. We have all pink snacks. We decorate the parking lot. We have blast of music, we have bubbles going, and we just march the parking lot. We even put the babies in the cribs, and the teachers decorate the babies' cribs, and we go around and we just have a lot of fun. We raise money, we're giving back. And again, we're putting all this on our social media page, so people are very interested because we're always doing something in the community. The breakfast with Santa, we usually do Valentine lunch with it's called lunch with a loved one, but because of COVID, we can't do it this week. It would normally be Friday, and we deck out our cafeteria. We turn it into like this nice Halloween thing. Valentine. We decorated Valentine, and we provide lunch and snacks, and you can bring your a loved one. They come and eat lunch with you and snacks. So we're not going to be able to do that this year. And then we also do a community garage sale. People in the community can come, bring a table, a tent, pop up in our parking lot and sell whatever they have. It's a garage sale for the community, but we market it, and lots of people show up to the community garage sale. So these are just a few events. I have tons of events, but this is just a few that I wanted to highlight that you can do. And many of them do not have to cost much. The garage sale doesn't cost much. The bike-a-thon doesn't cost at all. Different things like that do not have to cost. So just keep that in mind, and make sure you get out in your community and let them know who you are. That's going to make you stand out from the child care center they never heard of, or they passed by, but they don't know who the owner is. They never stopped in there. They never met them, versus they have come to one of your community events and they met you. They see what you stand for. You're out there mingling with the people. You're giving back to your community. They're going to remember that. So just keep that in mind. And then the next slide, I just put a few little things that I have done in my center. Another big one that we do, we have a graduation every year. We theme it out. This year, it was a circus theme. It was Kidsville's Big Top or something like that, I think the theme was. And we have our graduation at a local elementary school by us, because it has been a big thing, and we outgrew our center, and then we were going to church, but we outgrew the church. So now we rent a school and we have it in their cafe kind of auditorium, and we change our theme every year. It's a really big deal. You would parents, one kid graduating pre-K, and you have 10 parents that want to come. So 10 family members. So we had to start doing tickets, but it's really become a big event. So have a graduation, start small. We started small, and over the years, it just grew. We had our lunch with a loved one. That was a picture from our breast cancer walk. And that was a picture from our trunk or treat this year, where we had created a little photo prop where everybody could take a picture. Notice whenever I have events, I always have photo props, and my center name is always in the picture. So when they post it on their social media, they're going to know they were at Kidsville for this event. One of my favorite topics to talk about. So if you have any questions about community marketing, make sure you drop them in the question box. And then at the end, I will be happy to answer them. But moving right along to social media. Having social media and having an online presence is no longer an option. It is a necessity. I will tell anybody that if you have a business and you're not on social media, you probably won't survive. I hate to say it, but that's the way of the world. That is the way the world is going. You must have a social media page. When I first started, no, I didn't. When Facebook first started coming around, I still didn't want it. I was too scared, like, oh, I don't want to get it because parents may, what if they want to go on and say something bad about me and this and that? They may. It's far and in between. You just block them and keep it moving. It doesn't happen often. But at this point in the game, social media is necessary. And guess what? It's free. So when you say I don't have money in my budget to market, it doesn't cost you anything to have social media. So I always say, at the minimum, have you a Facebook and an Instagram page. At the minimum. If you want TikTok, Twitter, and all this other stuff, great. But these two are the two that our parents are probably on one of these two for sure. So again, some reasons why you want to have social media is because you wanted more exposure for your customers. It's free advertising. You can run paid ads on different events and things that you're having off of your social media page to reach more people. You drive more traffic to your website. From there, people see your social media posts and they're like, oh, I wonder what they have going. They click on your website and now they can see all your programs, and then they may click to schedule a tour. Once they're in for the tour, then I can sell them. You can share what you do in your center, which is what I do a lot every day. I'm sharing things that we're doing, events we're having, the kids learn and the kids smile and having fun, eating. Everything we do is a shareable moment. You can share your events. When we have events, we post them on our page. We ask people to share it. We ask people to come out and support, and then we post pictures from the event. And then you must have a website. I always say you must have a website as well. People want to be able to view your school and what you have to offer online during this time versus in real time versus calling and coming by. Me, I'm a compulsive shopper. I like to shop at night. When all my kids and my husband and everyone sleep, I'm on the net. If I was probably looking for childcare, I'd probably find it at night because that's when I'm doing all my searching. But if you don't have a website, I have to wait till the morning when you open and call you. By then I forgot I'm at work. I got busy getting my kids ready for school and time will fly by. But if I can just get on at night, I may get on, I may scroll your website, I may schedule a tour while I'm online. Boom. Everything is there. So make sure you have a website. And I know some people's like, I don't have a website. I just don't. It costs too much. Actually, it doesn't. A couple $100 can get you a website up and running. I'm not saying your website has to be, the most expensive one, but you need a website that's nice and can get the job done. I feel like a website makes people think your business is more professional. It gives you that professionalism. So I say to everyone, Facebook, Instagram, website. Those three is a great start. And I just linked my center's Instagram here. We have Facebook too, but I just linked the Instagram there in case you ever want to go check it out. I love social media, but I have some do's and don'ts for social media. I help my clients with their social media. So I'm always on social media because I have another business online and I'm always looking at childcare centers pages and I cringe sometimes. I'm like, oh, why did they post that? So some do's and don'ts of your business social media, your childcare page, not your personal page. Do what you want to do on your personal page. Me personally, my personal page is private. I don't want my staff, I don't want my kids, and I don't want my parents worrying about where I was on Saturday night. I don't need them judging me. I have a life outside of Kidsville Learning Academy, but do they need to know what I do? They do not. So my page is private, to each his own. But on your business page, some do's. Make sure that you have parental consent from each child to be able to use their pictures. That's first and foremost. That is part of my enrollment packet. So it's right there. If they do not put I do not, that means you do. And their signature is there. When we do have a child that the parent says, I do not, we have a list and everybody that's responsible for taking pictures. And I usually run the social media. I know which children cannot be in pictures. So you just want to make sure that you have parental consent. The next thing you want to do with social media is be consistent with posting. You don't want to post once every 6 months. No, you run out of the algorithm, which means no one will see your posts if you don't post consistently, because that's how Instagram and Facebook lets people see your posts. And two, people are not going to want to go to your page because you never have nothing to see. But if you post consistently, people are always going to consistently go to your page to see what you're posting. What are y'all doing? Oh, they're always doing something. Let me go see what they're doing, whatever. Parents, especially during COVID, I am super consistent and super adamant with my staff about getting content for me to post. Parents cannot come in my building. So all they get to see is the door when they drop their child off. And we do have a parent portal app where the teachers take a couple pictures here and there, but our social media page keeps them so engaged that they get to see on a day-to-day basis what happens in our center. Again, for me, I post everything, events, when they're learning, when they're eating, when they're sleeping, when they're playing, when they're outside. I post my staff, I post contests we're having. I post a little bit of everything to give them a glimpse of what's going on inside since they can't see. You want to interact with your audience. When people comment on my post, good or bad, I comment back. Very professional if it's bad. If it's too bad, I delete it. But I always interact with my customers or parents or people that comment on my page. You just want to make sure you're interacting with them. That's why it's called social media, because you want to be social. So don't just see people comment on your stuff and just leave them hanging. Comment back. Share tips and activities with families. And that's the one thing that I'm starting to add to mine. I want to share tips, little advice for parents, tips they can do, activities they can do at home. So you can share that with parents. Again, share photos of the day-to-day activities, highlight your staff, post events, pics, curriculum activities. You can have contests and ask followers to judge. I do that a lot with my staff. We had a pumpkin decorating contest that you can go back on my page and see, and those teachers did not come to play because it was a prize involved. It was a monetary gift involved for whoever won first place, but we had our parents judge online. So that got them all excited and involved. And we did the same thing with Christmas. We had a small Christmas tree decorating contest, but they had to decorate it based on a book title that they had to pull books. And so we made it fun for the staff. It was fun for the parents, and it engaged us on social media. Another thing during this time you want to be sure to post how you're keeping the kids safe during COVID. Post that they're hand washing, post that your staff cleaning, and that the outside company is coming in spraying. Post that you're taking temperatures and everyone masks. At this point, parents want to know that their kids are safe because we're still in the middle of a pandemic. So you do that by, posting, because again, they can't come in. So you show them what you're doing inside to keep their kids safe. You can ask people to share posts and just go live sometime. Go live during your circle time. Go live during your event sometime. So that way you can get outside people engaged and comment back, and they can see what's going on at your center in real time. And the last thing I like to say is have some type of branding templates with your logo on it. If you go on my page, I have branded templates where I, put little funny stuff, or I type a quote, but it's in a branded template with my logo at the bottom. So you know that it came from Kidsville. So that's some do's of social media. Some don'ts, because it's definitely some don'ts on social media on your business page. Please, 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 please do not post personal pictures on your business page. It is unprofessional. I'm sorry. If somebody's mad at me, don't do it. If I go to Kidsville Learning Academy's page, I'm looking for Kidsville Learning Academy. I'm not looking for where Latrice was last night. That is for Latrice's page. So make sure granted, if it's my birthday or my director's birthday or something, I will post my picture. But that's it. I'm not posting my picture where I went last night. And I own several other businesses. You will never see that on Kidsville's page, because they come to Kidsville's page not to buy shirts from Trendy Teachers or not to see what the childcare chick is doing. They come to Kidsville to see what Kidsville is doing. Keep it separate. And that is a big no-no. So make sure you're not posting just anything. You want nice quality pictures. You don't want to post anything. I see sometimes childcare providers post pictures and the whole back looks like they have ramshacked the room. Every toy they own is on the floor, and you're posting this picture. Parents look at that like, oh my God, that's a tripping hazard. Why wouldn't they clean up before they take a picture? When I take pictures, or the person that I have at my center that does my pictures for me, I trained her on what to look for. You get good quality pictures. Make sure that I'm not saying that the kids never throw the toys on the floor. Definitely not saying that. We have toys everywhere sometimes, but pick them up. And if we're taking a picture for the world to see, we're not going to have the whole place looking ramshacked. So make sure that you're posting good quality pictures. Another thing is, do not overpost. Don't post 25 pictures in one day, because people are not going to care anymore. It's too much. I don't want to see that all day. Post 1 or 2, maybe 3 a day, depending on what you have going on, but don't overpost. Another thing is, do not stop sharing because of the likes. I don't always get a lot of likes on my pictures. I don't really care, but they're viewing it. I may have 10 likes, but 150 views. So whether they're liking it, they're seeing it. Do not stop posting. I don't care if one person likes it or 100 person like it. Keep posting, because they're looking. Let's see. Okay. And that's it on don'ts. I forgot to delete those. So those are some great don'ts. Then we're going to go back to having a website. So again, having a website is no longer an option. It is necessary. Do you have a website? I can't see you in the chat, but put yes or no in the chat. Dani's looking. Do you have a website? You need a website. And this is why. It makes you look more professional. If you have a website, people, okay, this is a legit business. This is professional. They have a website I can maneuver through. I can see what's going on. Make sure you have a website. It makes you look more professional. Another reason is you can attract more customers through Google. So if I'm on Google and I go childcare center in Rosenberg, Kidsville pops up, then I could click on the website and see Kidsville without actually stepping foot in there. If I didn't have a website, it may say Kidsville Learning Academy and the address, but if I'm a parent scrolling at night like I do, I won't be able to see anything but the school. So that means I have to wait till tomorrow, try to get off work, go up there, have their website. While they're on Google, they can click it. They can take a whole virtual tour. They can see what you're about. They can see your programs. I don't suggest just ever putting your pricing on there. but they can see information about you. So you just need to make sure that you have a website. You can showcase your services. Your website can establish your place in the industry, meaning if your 5 competitors don't have a website and I'm up at night and I Google childcare centers in Rosenberg and 6 centers come up, but only 1 have a website and it's you and I like it, I'm probably going to come to your center first and miss all those other ones because I've already got a glimpse of what you have to offer from my bed. Think about it. You can also display reviews and testimonials for people that are searching for childcare. When they go on your page, you can have parents speaking. You can type in what they say, and people can see some testimonials. And parents like convenience. I know I do. I shop online. I don't like malls. When I go to a restaurant, I do their reviews online. I go to their website online. This is just the way of the world. We like convenience. So having a website is very convenient for them. They can look at it at their own leisure. And I just pulled up a little piece of I couldn't put the whole page. I just put a little piece up of my website. I do have real pictures on my website, a few pictures that are not from my center. I can't think of the word I'm trying to say, but these ones that say Kidsville Learning Academy under it, these are all real pictures. These are all pictures that were taken at my center. Some of the ones at the bottom are stock photos. That's what I was trying to say. But I'm slowly switching to real photos. But I want to make sure I capture the most vibrant and good photos to put on my website. So those at the top, though, are real web pictures from my site. And I just put my site name if you just want to take a look at it. And then last, we're going to talk about email marketing. Email marketing is the use of an email to promote your services while developing relationships with potential customers or clients. It is essentially direct mail and it's done electronically instead of like through the post office. It's just done electronically. Email marketing is not expensive at all. If you find a company that you can go through, it can be $10, $20 a month to have this service, but you can reach so many people with a click of a button. So how to start email marketing, drop in the chat, yes to email if you have an email list, because if not, when we get off this call today, starting tomorrow, I want you to go create an email list. And the way you can start your email list, the first thing you can do is add all your current families to your email list. When I first started, so my registration packet years ago didn't have email as one of the slots. And if it did, parents didn't fill it out. I didn't enforce it. Now you have to put an email address. And when I first started, I just created a sheet. And as the parents were picking up the kids, I said, I need your email address, please. Can you sign this clipboard and put your name and email address? And then I went and input all that into my system. And then once I did that to get started, I made sure from then on out, every person that enrolls in my center, you have to have an email address. And now you have to have it because you can't even log in to pay your tuition or to get the pictures of your children and their daily reports unless you have an email. And I've had one parent in 5 years say, I don't have an email address. And I sent her to Yahoo and said, by tomorrow, you have to have one because you can't enroll your child without one because you won't get the updates and everything you need because that's how we communicate now. We are getting rid of paper and we're communicating electronically. So if you don't have an email list, tomorrow, get all your parents' emails and let's start this list. Another way to build your email list is to, like I said, capture it at registration. Don't make it an option. From then on out, everybody that enrolls, it's on my paperwork. And when someone enrolls and we check over the paperwork before they leave, make sure they didn't miss a line. If they didn't put their email address, we hand it right back and say, we need your email address, please. Add past parents to the email list. And I always laugh when I say this because I'm not talking about little Johnny that you kicked out or David who mama give you the blues. Don't add her to the list. Once she leave, you delete her. Okay. Delete her. But past parents that you wouldn't mind having back, they moved, mom got laid off, whatever reason they took their child out your center. I mean, they might have moved to another daycare now because they were mad at you. Maybe they had something, maybe they opened later. I don't know. But you can get them and keep them on your list because guess what? When I'm running a special, I'm going to send that mom that email and say, hey, now we have $50 off. Maybe she got mad at the other daycare and not happy over there, or maybe she want to come back and she sees this email and go, you know what? I'll go back over there. Again, I put some in parentheses, only the parents that you don't mind having back. When you have community events, make sure you capture all the leads. Again, when you have an event, that's their ticket to get in. Yes, this is a free event. All we need is your email address. Capture those leads, because guess what? They may not look for childcare today, but you continue to send them your newsletter, and you send them specials that you're having. When they're looking, they're gonna be like, man, they're always doing something over there. Look at their newsletter. Or man, you know what? They're offering 3 weeks free. And I don't mean 3 weeks in a row. That's for a different topic. But oh, they're offering 3 weeks free. Let's go over there and enroll. So you want to make sure you're capturing leads. You can get leads through your website. You can get leads from tours and people that call for information. So at my center, if you get a tour or you call my phone, you're not hanging up unless I have your name, the child's name, the email address, some kind of contact information. You're not hanging up, because I'm not going to even give you the information you want until I capture what I want. They don't know that, because of course it doesn't come off like that. But in my head, that's what me and my administration staff know. Before they call and say, hi, I want to know if you have space for a 3-year-old. Oh, hi, may I ask who I'm speaking with? This is Mary. Okay, Mary. Well, how old is your child? 3? Is it a boy or girl? What's his name? Can I have your contact information in case we get hung up? Or I'll ask, can I have your email address? That way, after we hang up from this call, I can send you, a price list and some information about our center on your email. Most of the time, you said that within 30 seconds, they're like, oh, yeah, my email address is Mary, blah, blah, blah. They don't even think quick enough to say, I don't want to give you my email address. No, because the way I flow that conversation, it's going to flow. And you're writing all this down. And then you say, okay, sure, we do have room for a 3-year-old. This is the price. But if you say, hello, Mary, I just want to know if you have room for a 3-year-old. And you go, yeah, we have room for a 3-year-old. It's $155 a week. They go, okay, thank you. Now you done missed all the lead information. So make sure that you capture what you want before you give them what they want. Again, that's for another class, but that's just a little trick. And you can have social media contests where you can say, drop your email address below. I'm going to be picking someone to get a free $25 gift card to Chick-fil-A. You're going to have all these email addresses in the comments. You're going to transfer them all to your email list. You're going to pick one and give them that gift card. But now you got 50 more email addresses to add to your list to market to later. Write this down. This is some good stuff. I'm telling you what I know, because I use this all the time. Again, these are just some type of emails that you can send to your list. I break my email list up in separate lists because the program that I use for email marketing can do that. I have my current parents list, because sometimes it's only things I want to send to my parents that are enrolled at my center. And then I have a potential parents list, which are the people who came in for a tour, the people who came to my community events. And then I have a list for parents that no longer attend our center, because I may just want to send them like a come back, we want you back email. We want you back. We missed Johnny. You can come back and we will give you $50 off your tuition, whatever. So you can have different lists to send different things. So you want to send your newsletter and menu. You can send invitations to community events and open house. You can send now enroll-in emails when you have spaces open. Maybe you only have room in your room. You can send, and again, the program I use breaks it up into infants too, or toddlers by age. So I can just send an email to people who have infants because their birthday's in there. And it will just send an email. Hey, we have room in our infant room. We have 2 spots available. If you'd like, call for a tour. Now hiring, sometimes you can send it if you need people and you send out, you never know who knows somebody looking for a job that may have experience with children or that may have a passion to work with children. So don't sleep on sending now hiring through your emails. And you can also send some helpful parenting tips just to keep them engaged and wanting to open your emails. And then at the end, I just put a little bonus information because I get people that go, Latrice, you said all this about social media. I ain't got time for that. So just a little tip for social media marketing. One, I do not always, I have a app that auto posts my posts. It's called Plan, Plann. I get pictures from my center throughout the week. I set them all in this app. I write the captions and I tell the app what time to post it, and I never look back. I do that maybe a couple times a week. Sometime if I have time, I'll sit down one day of the week and I will plan my post for the next 7 days so I don't have to worry about it. Just a little tip. See, you only find that out if you're in here or you took my marketing class. Canva. If you never heard of Canva, Canva is a place where you can create cute graphics for your social media, for flyers, for oh my God, I create everything in banners. In Canva. I don't know if you've seen the little things I have outside of my center. If you follow my page that tells what's going on for the month, those posters, they're created in Canva, and I just print them somewhere else. Canva's, they have a free version and a paid version. Paid version is probably like $11. Amazing. Discount mugs and for imprint is where I get a lot of promotional materials printed. So just FYI, if you're looking for promotional material, you can check those two out. And Fiverr I put under there because if you're ever looking for a cheap graphic designer, maybe someone to help you build a website for a reasonable price, you can go on Fiverr and you can probably find you a graphic designer that will be able to help you there. Because again, when you want your social media to look nice. So if you don't know how to do that, you may have to pay somebody, and Fiverr is very, very, very reasonable. And last, there's my contact information. Again, we only had a little bit of time today. My marketing class is almost 3 hours, the one that I hold. So today, Dani made me cut it down to 45 minutes, but hopefully in 45 minutes, I gave you some information that when you go back to your center tomorrow or even tonight, you could start planning out. If you don't have a Facebook or Instagram page, when we get off this call, go create one. If you don't have any templates, try Canva tonight. Tomorrow, start your email list. Plan you an event. It's a lot of stuff coming up. Plan your Easter egg hunt for the community. Easter eggs, you can have the parents donate a dozen, but you can invite the whole community. Get one of your teachers that's fun in a bear costume, in a bunny costume. And now you got a whole community Easter egg hunt that probably only cost you less than $100. But if you promote it on your page and put flyers out, now you can have 100 people come into your Easter egg hunt outside with masks on. Remember that. I'm not saying that don't be safe, that you can market to. So hopefully when you will get off this webinar today, I hope that you have learned something about marketing. Again, my normal marketing class that's on my site is almost 3 hours, but I condensed what I could into 45 minutes. If you want to contact me, there's my email address. It's info@thechildcarechick.com. If you want to go to my website, I have plenty of products there. I have a marketing guide. If you say, I'm not creative enough to come with marketing, I have a 12-month marketing guide there that gives you activities, ideas for social marketing, community marketing, inside your center marketing monthly. You can pick that up. I also have my marketing class, and it is Valentine, and I'm in the mood for love. So I have a love bundle there that can bundle a lot of these products together for you for one price. And you can find that on my website. And if you ever want to do a consultation one-on-one, you want me to help you with a marketing plan, you want me to help you learn to grow your business and scale your business, whatever you need, these are my hours of, for consultation, and I will be happy to help you. I want to be a resource to you guys. I don't know it all, but I do know a lot. And what I don't know, I have no problem finding out. So I hope you guys have enjoyed and learned something today. And there's Dani.
Thank you, Latrice. I know that I learned a lot today specifically.
Good. I had to talk fast, Dani.
Yeah, I loved when you mentioned that you could do, in order to grow your email list, you could do a giveaway on social media and have people it could be, you never know who's following your social media pages. It might not be any parents that have currently enrolled. They might just be following you for a long time, thinking about enrolling, and but not seeing all the extra stuff that you give away to your email list subscribers. So something like that could incentivize them to, sign up for your email list. So that's amazing.
And you want to grow your email list because that's yours.
Right.
Social media can tomorrow.
Exactly.
And then how you have their contacts.
Right, exactly. Before I get into the Q&A box, there were several questions in the chat asking about different ways that you can create an email list. So do you want to share the ways that you know of?
So I use one company, it's called Constant Contact. You can use Constant Contact. You can use, what's the other one? It's something monkey.
Survey Monkey?
No, it's not.
MailChimp?
MailChimp. Why did I call it monkey? Oh, I was close. Okay, MailChimp, Constant Contact, and then I use CRM now, so I have the email, embedded in CRM as well. But if you don't have CRM, before I had that, I used Constant Contact. I think depending on how many contacts, it could be less than $20 a month. And then after so many contacts, you know, it goes up a little bit, but it's not expensive at all. And you can break them up by different lists.
Right. Yeah, so I'm not too familiar with using MailChimp or Constant Contact or a CRM, that's not a CRM, like a mailing list company like that. But I would hope that there's a way that you can embed growing a mailing list. I would think is easiest to do with we're saying MailChimp. I'll put it in the chat. MailChimp. I would think that those kinds of companies or signups, you can embed a link or something on your website where people can enter their email address, or is it that you have to gather their email addresses and then put it in yourself?
Constant Contact, you can do one or two ways. Now, if you have a childcare like ProCare or something like that, you can, export all your email addresses that as only if you already put them in ProCare when your parents enrolled. You can export your list and then just upload it to Constant Contact. But after that, you normally put it. So what my staff do, as soon as we get a new student, that's part of the enrollment process. When they put it in the system, they know they have to put it in Constant Contact too.
Right. Yeah.
Through CRM, it's automatic. This is Constant Contact. CRM.
Yeah, we've been using childcare CRM at my centers for a few years now. I just put the name of that company as well in the chat box. And I love childcare CRM. It is a way for you to stay on top of your new leads. So if you are experiencing, every time your phone rings, that's money calling, right? And that's what I always try to remind myself. Like sometimes we can think like, oh, the phone is ringing, it's interrupting my day. Like, oh my gosh, I have to answer the phone again. But that's a blessing. Like it could be $10,000 on the line for the year, you know?
You never know.
And like Latrice was saying, you need to be able to answer that phone call professionally and gather all their information that you need before just giving away your details. So one thing that you mentioned, Latrice, was that you have the conversation going to get their info, and then you give them the prices. In my center, we give no prices on the phone at all. We tell them that the only way that they can get a price is if we email it to them. So we say, and we don't say it that bluntly, we're like, oh, but we have so many options. We have different packages, different prices. There's a lot that you can select from. So if you give me your email, I'll send it over to you right now. So that's one way for that. And then for another way for an email list as well as a website, I build my websites myself using Wix.com. It's you can get a free package for like creating a website on there for free, but like to get the majority of the features that you'll want, you're going to end up having to pay a certain small amount. It's very minuscule. I think it's like, depending on the package you choose, it could be around $20, $30, $40 a month or something like that. And with that, there's a built-in CRM system with Wix. So I use childcare CRM, and I also use Wix because I like Wix's email, like the way that they design their emails and like how it looks. So basically everybody that got the link to get on this webinar just now, that email that you get from me that has the pink background, that's coming from Wix.com. And the way that it's designed and like, looks professional and nice and vibrant is from Wix. And I have all of your emails in that website. And you're on my mailing list. So it's built in. So that's just a tip that I wanted to share, but I'm going to go into the Q&A box for you, Latrice. Danya wants to know, when passing out flyers, do you attach anything to your flyers?
Oh, for sure. I never pass out flyers, only because I'm going to be honest. What do you do when you get a flyer? If people come in and give me a stack of flyers, throw it in the trash, especially if I'm not using it. So when I market with flyers, I'll do something like, for example, I'm just going to give an example. Easter's coming up. You can go to Dollar Tree. Get you some little Easter baskets, put some little eggs in it with some candy. You put your flyers in there. You come up with a cute saying about Easter. And that's what you take to the businesses and ask could they leave on the counter. Because if you just go in there with a stack of flyers and go, can I leave these for your customers? People do it to me all the time. By the time they get to the car, I throw it because it junks up my countertop. Right. But people come in with nice things. In the summer, I'll do the little pails from the dollar store with the shovel, the sand pails. And I will put cute stuff in it. And then I'll put the flyers in there. I always suggest having some other type of promotional material than flyers only. Some little bracelets, some pens, some pencils, things that people will use. They'll take a pen. I take pens from everywhere. Yeah. So definitely want to not just do flyers, get a little more creative with it. I'm not saying spend a lot of money. Again, I'll put a whole bucket together from Dollar Tree. Dollar Tree is the bomb.
Yeah. Okay. Also, what is the name of a company I can use to get emails? We did that one. What is the best way to keep up with events?
So I have an event calendar, an annual event calendar is what I suggest. Get an annual event calendar. That way, like my staff, they're already planning for our graduation in May now. They know it's on the calendar. They know it's big. We don't know if it's going to be virtual yet, but we're getting the theme, getting everything together. So if you have and you don't have to do an event every month, but I do. And again, some are very small, but I try to do an event every month. So I would say get an event calendar and just plan. And then make sure you and your staff are on board. So you already know what event is coming up for this month. Like in May, we're having a Mommy and Me tea party for Mother's Day. We're already working on that. So you just want that, have an event calendar.
Got it. We also have a question that says, do you prefer, I would assume maybe like, do you recommend that a small home daycare get one? Because I don't have one. I think she was referring to an email list or a website.
I think no matter what kind of business you have, you should have that because that's a communication tool. And again, you may have a small home center, but your kids, those kids will go out of your center. They may leave. And if you're using that email to communicate, you can have people on your waiting list, or you can just be communicating with your parents versus flyers and a website. I would say website is optional, but my personal opinion is every business should have one. That's just big or small.
Yes, I agree. Well, that's it for the Q&A box. Latrice, is there, I know you mentioned it already, but for those that might not have heard, can you tell us one more time, like how to get in contact with you if there are more questions, or where we can find that 12-month marketing guide that you mentioned?
Sure, you can email me at info@thechildcarechick.com. I am the Childcare Chick on Instagram and Facebook. If you want to send me a DM, I definitely prefer Instagram. I hardly ever get in my Facebook messages. My website is thechildcarechick.com, and that's where you can find my 12-month marketing guide, or even a more in-depth marketing class where it's the ABCs to childcare marketing, and we literally go from letter A to Z with marketing.
Got it. Thank you so much for being here, Latrice. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for everyone that attended. And if you have any more questions, just send me a DM.
Yes, please do that. And I did see some people asking about the replay. The replay for last week's webinar was delayed, but I am sending that out. If you registered for last week's and was unable to attend and didn't get it, you'll get that tonight. And this one you'll get this weekend. So anybody that missed out on certain parts, you'll see the full thing this weekend. So check your emails. And once again, thank you so much, Latrice, and I will talk to you soon.
Thank you. Bye, Dani. Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.